Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's episode is the MU Metal Model Transformers Decepticon Tarn partial build. As with all the other metal models, it was very challenging, had a lot of steps, had some pieces that were a little difficult, but the end product turned out to be great, looked amazing, just like all the other pieces. But I hope you can get through all the episodes and I hope you enjoy them. And as always, please like, subscribe, or leave a comment so I can get more content out to you. Welcome back everyone to our next episode. Last one was a little long, but we had a lot going on, but we finished the hand, got the forearm going on, so we're working our way up to the shoulder. So we're gonna start do our favorite thing and curl these in little half moons. I know that last episode had a couple different challenges, so it's that's kind of part of metal models, is you just don't know what's going to happen or what steps is going to have you do. So you just got to be kind of see what they give you and then just prepare for, or not prepare for it, but at least just do some thinking and press it on. Okay, why you're not going in? Try not to bend this too much. And I did. Here we go. Yeah, I bent that just a little too much, but I think it'll be all right. Okay, so with these, what were we doing? Okay, so these are actually getting bent in. So again, you're really not going to notice the shapes too much. So, but it's still good to make sure that it's in the correct shape. I just don't have a smaller screwdriver than this one to go a little bit smaller, so I'll try to do a little bit better on making sure I don't bend it too much. So now we got those. Now they are gonna go 9. Into these right here. Okay. Yeah, so kind of don't like bending them out, but I don't want it to be in the way of the piece. Try to fold it in, then it would get in the way of the piece where you probably would see it. You'd see the tabs and everything, so it's just best to just fold it on the outside this time. So and then this one goes over. Yep. Okay, these are just a tad too small for my fingers, so put those in. Then the tabs to the outside. Okay. Just making sure these are locked in good. Okay, so now the fun part is we're going to be twisting this around, twisting this around, and then twisting this around. Now, this is supposed to be turned at an angle, but it's always good to just put it in first, to put it over the tabs, and then twist it at the angle, just so you're not trying to fight it as it's at an angle. At least I do. You may turn it at an angle and find that it's fine to lock onto the tabs, but I just go ahead and lock it on, and then I can kind of tighten that down, but then I'm turning it to make sure it's at the angle of what the other ones are, and then I'm just kind of lining it up, making sure the corners are turned. Okay. Now, I think these are supposed to get pushed in. Kind of looks that way, just a little bit. And that's supposed to get pushed in. And these corner pieces are supposed to go into these slots, so I'm gonna have to turn these tabs in, which is a different way to get them to go in. Usually you just kind of put them in and then bend them, but we'll see how this goes. Having that go in at an angle is gonna kind of and it looks like you're just gonna have to work at this tab to curl it in, and you may have to just do one at a time. You get one in, and it looks like you may have to bend that in just a little bit more to get that second one in. Hate to go that much of an angle, but there we go. And then push it in. Oof, I really don't like that. Now, the trick is how to lock these in. I don't really have a good way to. I don't really like that either. I'm just gonna have to bend this in. Okay, that worked. That's all right. And then make sure I push that in and bend it. I'm pretty much having to bend these to the middle, because that's really the only way they're gonna lock in. If you try to bend it to the outside, then the piece will just come right out. As you can see, it's kind of locked in there. And we get to do it again. So, turn that one in. Turn that one in. We'll see what we got. Okay. There we go. Didn't think those were gonna work. Okay, so now with that being pushed in, try to angle. course, I'm all trying to do this without trying to bend the piece as it is. There we go. All right, not too bad. A little bit of a gap, but that's really about the only thing you can do with it. All right. Okay, so now those. Just kind of raise them up a little bit. And this goes down. Okay, now I gotta. Nope, missed one. That one. Now the trick is to get them all to line up. Ow, that hurt. Here we go. That one, that one, that one. Just push down. It hurts when you get the tabs on the bottom and you're trying to push it in. Okay, so now we are doing I guess this isn't going to be too short of an episode. Not with all that going on. Okay, so we're gonna turn that down. Turn this down. Oops. You could just grab them all and just bend them at the same time instead of doing one at a time. I know what I was doing. It's like this end one here doesn't want to. Sorry, I'm just kind of moving a little fast here. Okay. So now, so this is going to go in. Yep. This is going to wrap around, and then these are going to lock in to here. Oh. There we go. That's pushing too much. Nice little accessories or attachments there. Okay, so now it looks like that on the bottom, that on the top. Now we are going to do the hand like that. It's going to go in here. And get the kitty hair out. Oh, look at that. So, like I said, you're not really going to see that too much. It looks like it's going to be underneath, so I still don't like that gap that's in there, but there's really nothing I can do about it. It's just the way it was bent. Can't really do anything else, but there you go. Yeah, got his little upper arm getting up to the shoulder. Hey, it's looking pretty good though. So, and looking ahead, it definitely is gonna get harder. And most of these, they have, if you notice, has a little L on it right there. And then there's another piece I'll show you once I get to it. It'll have that same marking. And that's just to show you that these two pieces are supposed to go together. So if those two didn't match, then you should know that those pieces don't go together. So we're gonna start bending that, and then they want you to bend this around, and then it goes here, and you're gonna hear my boys in the background. And I'm just gonna bend these up a little bit, just to get them to fit in so I'm turning it, slowly turning it, and the pieces, they got it where it's supposed to, bend a little bit, so. And then it ends right there with that. I think it's supposed to bend just a little bit, so. And then I'll just poke these back up. Lock the tabs without bending the pieces too much. Got that one in. And then bend that one down. Okay, it's a little bit of a gap, but not too worried about it. You can always kind of push it down a little bit. And use the pliers to push it down a little bit more to kind of lock it in, but since you're not really pushing it down anymore, then it's kind of hard to lock that piece in, but you're just wanting to secure it. That's really all you want to do. Just kind of make sure it's, there we go. Looking pretty good. Okay. Lay that down. Favorite thing to do is make some round pieces. And this one's a little different just because it's, I don't think it's gonna roll as much as what it has in the past, so just gonna kind of take my time with it, get it back around. Don't want to close it completely because we gotta, it just fell off. It's gotta lock in right into this. And you can just use your fingers just to kind of roll it. And you could do this from the beginning too. And then hard part is getting this to lock into that. Gotta bend it up a little bit, get it in there, lock it down, and then if you need to adjust the circular part, make it look a bit more pretty. And you should get it with the pliers. And I'm just gonna kind of push it down, just kind of check the edges. There we go. Not too bad. And then just line up the hose. There you go. Okay. You just got to be careful not to push on these edges when you're trying to push down the tabs so you don't bend them out of shape. So it's best just to kind of push on the top and push in the middle. And then just use a screwdriver or something to push the tabs down. Because you just don't want to push on these edges right here, because it's already at an angle, and if you try to push on it as you're pushing these tabs down with your fingers or something, then you run the risk of bending it in a different shape that you don't want to, and trying to fix it afterwards is just more work than you need. Just saw something, looks like it's off just a little bit, even though it made it in, but that'll be fine. It's just, you see the circle right there. It's the fit over top of it, but it'll be fine. So, okay. Now, looks like we get the fold. Just seeing how this is folded down, okay. So it looks like that. Okay, yeah. So you gotta make sure these line up with the bottom. I was pushing that down. Wasn't really lining up with it, but I gotta quit pushing it back and forth or it's gonna break. And then try not to bend that bottom piece any more than what I already have. Okay. So now try to get it where you can see. Work with what you got. There we go. Just gotta finagle it sometimes. Trying to lock into one, and then I can use a screwdriver on the other ones, just so I don't push in on anything. Okay, just look like they're in there, and it's looking pretty good. So now, put in this whole piece, because this is the outside shoulder. So we're getting ready to do this right here. Where are we at? No, yeah, we got plenty of time. Okay, so here, as I was saying earlier, if you notice, there's the other L on this piece. So if they didn't say L, if it said R for, the L's for left, R's for right. So if they didn't have that L on there, then this is definitely not the right piece that you would need to go on to this other one with the L. Okay. Okay, locking it in. Again, before, since it's kind of hollow, it's hard to get leverage to push on. And with this, you want to make sure it's got 2 tabs, so you want to make sure you push on the right one and not the one that you're going to be using for later. This piece is wanting to pop up on me because I'm not got enough leverage. There we go. Well, it's actually still dead. There we go. Okay. So I got the square. This is gonna be fun. Let's see. Get this piece here. Yep. So this one is just, you are bending it into a square. You have to be careful for hypnotic sounds. No, you can't take that away. I know. You're in the way. I know. You want petting. Yes. Got kitty hair everywhere. Okay, so it looks like we're doing the 3. Don't think it matters. It's the same, right? I'm just looking at the tabs. And they look exactly the same, so it looks like it don't matter which way it goes. Or which side that you put it on. Sometimes there's more tabs on one side than the other, so it's kind of makes it easy to tell which way you got to put it on. There we go. So there's that. So now it looks like looks like these go up top up here. These go down. Oops. Here, and then it slides in. That's it. There we go. You want to get on camera? I'm sure you would like it. And with these tabs, I'm just pushing these in there just to lock these in. See, now you're knocking everything over. Okay, so this is the shoulder piece. And now, I know, yes, I'll pet you in just a second. So now it looks like with that. Now this, you're in the way. You go. Looks like it's hard to see it. One there, and one there. I'll be dang. It's like I knew what I was doing or something. And that is secure. It's not going anywhere. Probably could have pushed that one down a little bit more. But not too bad. A little shoulder piece. And then we're going to be putting stuff that's going to go around here for that one, and then one that's going to be going around here. So, and then another piece that's going to go here that we're going to be putting something else around it. So that's going to be the new part that I haven't worked with before. So we'll see how it goes. So first we're going to bend this around. What we're going to bend that piece like a wrap or something. What they made it look like. Now before we put this on the one side there's 3 holes, and then the other side there's 4 holes. So to make sure you put the right side on, you're putting it onto something that only has 3 holes. So, and of course it has the L on it, so we know we're using the right piece. So we're going to make sure we use the size that has 3 holes. There we go. Okay. The shoulder looks a little weird, but that's what they say to do. Okay. So now this one I already kind of did a little bit. So here, it's a square, and they wanted 2 magnets on it. Some pieces, some kits, they will give you magnets because they want you to attach something on the other side of the piece. And to make it easier, they'll use magnets so you can just put it off and on without having to use tabs or anything like that. So these two already stuck together, and I already just kind of put it on here. And what you want to do is just make sure that the magnets are the right polarity and that they stick to the piece, and that you use some metal on the other side to make sure it sticks. Because if you have the reverse polarity on here and you try to put some metal on this other piece, it will repel it, so the metal won't stick to the magnet. So you want to make sure that that is the right polarity before you put all this on, because once you put this on, you're not going to be able to go in and change it before change it after you get everything locked in and stuff. So you want to make sure that the magnets are the right polarity before you close all this up. So it's just want me to. So obviously this end piece is going to be probably used to connect to the main body of the model. That's probably what they're using it for. And then how did I get bent again? Okay. There we go. Straighten that out. Okay. Just gotta be careful since this is hollow. This piece can bend either way, so you gotta be careful. Okay, so kind of scared. Every time I work on something new, it always kind of frightens me a little bit. So there's a little tank tread, I guess that's what you can call it. So if you turn it over, you see the little lines on the edges. So they want us to flip these down from this side, flip them down. So if you're not for sure which part to grab, I mean, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can either get some long nose pliers, grab a hold until, you know, the tip of the pliers is right on the end, you know, grab them and then bend them over, and then turn it over and do it that way. Or you can do just one at a time. You can use the needle nose ones, or you can use these flat ones. You can just do one at a time, just whatever you're comfortable with. You know, until you get them all turned. But you just got to make sure that the pliers are grabbing every single one as you turn them. Then they turned. Oh, out of focus again. There you go. If you want, you can always, like I said, you just use it to verify that they're all, I mean, they're all mostly, may not be the same, but just depends on the pliers you're working with. And you just work on the other side and be careful not to push these down, as you're putting pressure down. And being careful that your pliers doesn't go over this line, because you don't want to bend a piece that's not supposed to bend in that direction. See, like that one, it looks like it didn't bend. It bent the back pieces, but not the front pieces. All right. So we got all those bent. Now, make sure we got it angled the right way. And there's some slots right there, and there's some slots right there. See some holes. So they will go right there. And I may actually go ahead and lock those down. But guess we'll roll with it. Okay, so it looks like from here you just kind of use the edge of this piece and just bend the piece down and just work your way around. And then you get another couple tabs here at the bottom. And hopefully they line up. That one does, okay. And then those will lock in. But I wanna, and just continuing on, and then you bend this up. Just so that locks in. And then pushing this down. And then when you push that down, then it kind of locks it in. I don't really like that. It's not really locking it in. I do not really like that. I'm almost tempted to bend the tab back up. Because you have the tab either, you're gonna have the tab, see the tab either here, or you're gonna see it right there. And for me, I would rather it be secure enough to where I can see it, or secure enough where I don't have to worry of where it's gonna be. So, I'm gonna bend it up, make sure it's down on the way, and I'm gonna bend it upwards. Now you're probably gonna see it a little bit more. But again, like I said, you're either gonna see it here or you're gonna see it there. There's really no getting around it. But pushing it up like that, it's securing the piece. I don't have to worry about these two disconnecting. And it's not really gonna make that much of a difference to me. So, because you're gonna see a tab either way. So, I think it looks pretty good. And plus it's gonna be the back piece, so you're really not gonna see too much. So actually it wasn't too bad. I actually thought it was gonna be a little harder. But you get your edges that you turn down, or just are on the outside of the long edge on either side, so they just made it a little longer to go around. So then the next steps is to put this same piece on right here and right here. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. So to begin with, one step was to put this piece on, and it was the exact same thing that we did putting this on. Exact same thing. So I didn't film that. It's just, put it into a circle, putting the tabs on, just making sure it looks good on the rounded side, and then just putting them in the holes and locking the tabs down. So that's all I did for that one. And then for these, I went ahead and just folded down the ends on both sides, just so you kind of saw me do that in the last episode. So I just saved a little bit of time. I just went ahead and just folded those down. So next step is gonna be putting this one on, just making sure I get the right one. And this one's gonna be a little different because it's actually not gonna attach to itself like the first one did. That's when we went all the way around and attached it to itself. This one's not gonna be the same. It's actually just gonna attach on one side and like that. Try that again. It's just gonna attach right there and then attach to the bottom. So I think it's just because, just to kind of keep them rounded. Yeah. So again, we'll just fold this in. Because there's really nothing for this to attach to. It's too far away. So, but since it's not really attaching to itself, then and since this is kind of a hollow piece, it's hard to push this over to lock it in. There we go. And then we're just following the piece all the way around, being careful to only push down on this side since there's nothing over there for it to attach to. And just making sure this hole lines up. And then before you push that in, just make sure that bottom lines up. And I would go ahead and just lock this bottom one in first. It's so delicate, it's hard to try to put enough pressure so you're not pushing down on these angled pieces and pushing down on this piece, you know, as it is, to not push it in too far or whatever. So that actually doesn't look too bad. So now, next step is to do the same, but we're gonna do it to this middle piece, and this tread piece actually is the same going any direction, so there really shouldn't be any right or wrong way that you put this, depending, you know, whether you use this side or this side up here. And then just work your way up as you're just kind of work from the back, that way you can kind of see what's fitting, what's not fitting. Yep. You can kind of see it's a little there we go. Because it has a little play up and down into the sides, so I need to go up a little bit more. That these would fit on. There we go. So that's why I was trying to pull it up like that. Saw that it needed a little bit more room. And just continue down. Again, using the edges of the piece we're throwing this onto. Pushing this in just to make sure it fits. There we go. And again, before we lock those two pieces down, just making sure this bottom one fits. And then, so there we go. Got the tank treads for the shoulder pads on. That actually wasn't too difficult. So yeah, when you actually put it on, it'll be like that, and the arm will be kind of sticking out a little bit. So that's what I'm going to guess in their tank treads. That's just kind of what they look like, of what he transforms into. Because if not, then the metal piece will not stick. So with this piece here, this is going to kind of keep it in the spot that it's in. So it's got these 4 little prongs. Easiest way I found to bend is use these flat or wider prong or pliers, and just go all the way up to the edge, and then just fold it up, and then when your flat piece hits the flat piece of this right here, then you're good to go. So then I'm gonna make sure the holes are visible on both sides, and then all we're needing is and that's the hard part with these magnets, is everything's metal. So I'm trying to attach something to it that's all metal. So there we go. So if you get that, it just slides it right in. You'll kind of notice the prongs kind of stick out a little bit. Sometimes I try to go ahead and bend the edges. Bending that in and bending that in. And we're using this piece, and it's gonna go right here. Still not exactly for sure what it's gonna be used for. Okay, so now looks like we're bending. Bending everything in. Smaller pieces, I'm just using the thicker one. It looks like it's going to lock down right onto that. Just going to go ahead and lock this down. Okay. That. Okay. And sometimes with the long pieces, you want to just make sure the whole piece is bending down, not just one side. Down the other side. That. Down that. All right. Oh, I got one thing to bend down right there. Magnet. Okay. Now, gonna use this. Yep. So this is kind of one of those, like those bigger pieces that we had before, where you just fold the sides in, and then you use the edges of those sides to fold your piece. Fold the top part down, just to make sure that they're on the inside of the top part to get down, and then once it gets there, then just kind of bend it the rest of the way. Because now I gotta fold this out, push this in with some pliers. Makes it look easy. And then just do that. Get those two in there. And then okay. And then we're gonna fold these over. Okay, go on to the next step. Okay, so now go ahead and bend it. Try to push this up just a little bit, and just making sure these corners are looking pretty good. Why is that? Okay. So I'm not gonna try to push it in all the way just yet, just getting it into the spot that it wants it to be in. Okay, so now we're going to this. And we're bending that down. Bending that down. Bend this down. Okay. It looks like yeah. There. And right there. This is where you just kind of push it in to get it all to fit. It don't look like there's nothing up top here for it to... Oh, this is gonna lock in right up there. Okay, so fold over. This is gonna go down. And then, whoops, you're supposed to fold down, not I didn't like doing that. There we go. That's in, yeah, that's down. So, all right. We're gonna do the same thing for this one that we did with the other magnet, except the 3 prongs are actually gonna be going in. Just gonna move it up. It's usually easier if they go in a little straighter. You can get all 3 to go in. There we go. So with this, now we're gonna bend that
And then this is gonna go so. Show those. Okay. Let me lock all these in first. Just so they're secure and they don't pop out with all these two magnets. These other pieces, I'm just gonna lock that one in, lock that one down, and then we're gonna push this up. So I designed it pretty well. All right. So now get the piece like that. So now this is gonna go on like that. Just kind of seeing. Yep, okay, so just goes on like that. Don't know what purpose that serves, unless it's something you can take off later, you know, because here's the two magnets that we put on, there and there. So and these are being attached to here and here. They're inside there and there to, you know, attach to it. But it's supposed to go all the way in. Just kind of seeing. There we go. Because it's, you know, you can kind of see, you can't see, back it up here. You can kind of see this is, you know, fitting over the back part right here. Kind of loose, but it's attached, it ain't coming off or nothing. And that's it. That is the arm and the shoulder piece for one of the arms. And this little attachment right here that you can take off and on and off for whatever reason, if you just want to have it on there, I'm guessing, or if you want to just take it off just to show off the arm. So this is just going to be just like the leg. I have a feeling the other arm's going to be the exact same. So I may not film it. The arm just may be in a different position. The hand may look a little different, but as far as everything else goes, it's going to be the exact same build. So I probably will not film doing that one. But if there is anything different involved with it, then I probably will at least do a quick little video on what's different and put that together. But if it's the same, then I'll just go ahead and put it together, and then I'll just do a little video at the end showing the completion of it. So, but there she is. So, not too bad. So I think we'll put an end to this video, this episode. I hope you enjoy watching it, and we'll see you in the next one.